All right, welcome to Chapter 1 in Math 111, General Ed Statistics. In each section, you're going to get kind of an overview, a big picture of what the section's going to be about, as well as lots of examples to help you understand what those concepts mean. And so your big picture view for section 1.1 is this: statistics is the science of collecting, describing, and interpreting data. Okay, now as far as when all of those things happen, we will be talking about collecting data specifically in Chapter 1. We will talk about ways to describe data in Chapters 2 and 3. And then we will be interpreting data through the entire course. Okay, now in this course, one of the things you need to note is that we are going to primarily focus on the interpretation of results. Okay, we're going to let calculators and other software, whatever, do the work for us, so to speak, crunch the numbers. What we're going to worry about far more is what do those results mean. Okay, it doesn't matter to me where those results come from. There's so many powerful computing things out there, including your calculator, which, by the way, if you have not yet noticed, you will need a TI 83 or 84 calculator. That is how the instructions will be given. If you happen to have a TI Inspire from a previous course, you may use that. However, you'll probably need to Google the instructions in order to do the commands that we're going to be using. Okay, so please get a TI 83 or 84 calculator. All right, so moving on to the first example where we're going to get some statistical vocabulary here. And we're going to use our vocab in the context of an example. So, survey researchers employ a variety of techniques in the collection of survey data. In recent years, surveyors have faced declining rates for most surveys. Suppose we want to help the researchers decide which method of surveying, phone, web, or a paper like mail-in survey, gives the highest response rate. Okay, so first thing, what is the population? So first, let me give you a definition of population. Okay, population is the big picture group we want to study. Okay, one of the keys I can tell you here is you want to think about the term all. Okay, think all. So when it comes to a population, again, we probably can't survey, say, everybody in the entire state, but we can survey some people in the state. So the population would be all people who live in the state of Illinois, for example. But that's not who we're actually going to physically be able to survey or sample. Okay, so in this example here, who are we talking about? Well, we're just talking about people who are surveying. So in this example, we're probably talking about the population being all adults. Most of the time surveys are for adults, not, there are teen surveys, but in this case, let's assume we're going to be talking about adults. Okay. All right. What would the parameter be if we had one? So a parameter in general, so the definition, it is some numerical summary from the population. Okay. And by a numerical summary, you might be like, what in the world does that mean? A numerical summary could be a mean. It could be a median. It could be the lowest value. It could be the percentage of people who believe such and such. Okay, so any way that you can summarize what's happening numerically. But when we're talking about a population, again, this parameter is often going to be unknown because, again, it is very difficult and costly to survey, for example, the entire state. Okay, so usually you won't know the exact value of that parameter. So in this particular example, there are lots of different parameters that could come up, but if we're trying to find out which method of surveying is better, so we're going to go with one possibility could be the percentage of all adults. Remember, parameters apply to the population. Percentage of all adults who respond to, and then pick one of the methods, phone or web or paper, if you would prefer one of those, surveys. Okay. All right. Would it be reasonable to survey the entire population? Again, assuming this is some sort of a national or a statewide survey, and if we're talking about survey researchers, they're often looking at national data. Okay, so is it reasonable to do that? Probably not. Okay, this would be very time consuming, and it would be very expensive.